Lauren Golden here with
Audrey.
And we want to talk to you guys about our family's time in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. So we arrived in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. We are staying at a KOA and we are coming off of 3 weeks in Golden, Colorado, which was amazing. You can learn all about our experiences in Golden on another one of our videos. But what was really nice about it was being in the same RV park for 3 weeks. And we don't have another stint when we're in the exact same RV park for that long until we get all the way over to San Diego, California. We got a lot of places to go in between. So it was so nice because we really got comfortable and we could take our library out, right? We weren't like rushed. And so pulling into Steamboat Springs, we're like, okay, we've got a week here, and checking the weather forecast, there's a lot of rain. So the first thing that we knew that we wanted to do when we got, or even before we got to Steamboat, was horseback riding.
My horse was named Bob.
Her horse was named Bob. So like I said, we are at another KOA, and we love KOAs. We book KOAs because it's one of the sort of RV parks that you can get points and rewards. So we've been traveling now for 4 years total, not full time. We just left this summer full time if you are new to our channel, but we've spent the last 3 summers in an RV. We do a lot of KOA, and so you get sort of that loyalty rewards, and you can take, you know, 50, 100 bucks off from your stay by going to the same place. So we love staying at KOAs. We pull in and check in, and this is our first mention on our RV trip about bears. So that was a thing. They had really great stuff at this KOA. They had bikes that the kids got to rent and go ride some bikes because we did not bring bicycles on this trip. And it was a really nice property. There was a creek that went right through it that was beautiful with a bridge. The only downside was that our spot was not big enough for us to have the Jeep pulled in. So we had to park. Our RV was on one side of the creek and we had to park on the other side. This was the bear tip, which was not to leave anything in the car or to leave it unlocked because of bears. The one thing we had planned for the week, again, weather's not supposed to be very good. There was one day that had no chance of rain, and so that is the date that we booked horseback riding at Saddleback Ranch. 10 out of 10, 5 stars, 2 thumbs up. Shout out to our cowgirl, Erin, who led our trail ride. And what was your horse's name?
Bob.
Yep, shout out to Bob. Audrey did amazing. Were you nervous before you went horseback riding? You were, but what made you get over your fear and do it?
Bob was with me.
Bob was with you, and he was so sweet. Yes, we had the best time. It was an amazing view. I can't recommend enough Saddleback Ranch. It was, I don't know, maybe a 20 or 30 minute drive outside of Colorado Springs. Just so sweet. And what was really actually cool is that one of the other women who was working at Saddleback Ranch, we ended up seeing later in the week. So because of the rain, we did spend a lot of time doing school and work, which was good because all of our normal fall routines kicked in when we arrived in Colorado. And we got pleasantly surprised though, because even though it said it was gonna rain like mostly the whole time, it really didn't. And we went to the coolest place. It was called Old Town Hot Springs. And I just found this in a Google search, and it had like a gym inside, and it actually had a rock climbing wall inside too. Do you remember going rock climbing? Was that fun? Yeah? Are you brave? Yeah. It was so fun. That was kind of an unexpected part. The real appeal is that they have some natural hot springs in Steamboat Springs. And this Old Town Hot Springs has almost made them look like a really nice pool, but the water is being pumped in, you know, or flows through, I don't know the mechanics, from these hot springs. It was amazing. It was amazing. So behind the building with the gym, they have put in these natural hot spring. They look like almost like luxury swimming pools, but they have this natural hot spring water coming in. They've got a bunch of different ones. They have some that are adult only. They have one that looks like a huge pool with like a bridge going over it. And they were all like somewhere between 95 and 105 degrees.
One was a pool, just like a little.
Yeah, they had a swimming, like a lap pool. Yeah. And then they also had,
it wasn't hot.
Yeah, it wasn't as hot, but they also had the outdoor rock climbing, which was pretty cool. And Henry and Daphne spent a lot of time trying to climb up to like ring this bell outside at the hot springs pools.
But it was too deep for me, so I couldn't do it.
That's okay. Maybe next time. It was a great way to spend a couple of hours. And honestly, like if you could get a week pass or a month pass and spend time there, Justin and I were both able to go and exercise once. One of the things we miss probably most about our normal lifestyle being back in Kansas City is our gym membership. And so it was a really nice opportunity for us to get a little bit of taste of that, but also do something that was sort of special to Steamboat Springs and just something the kids were gonna really enjoy as well. So because the weather was cooperating and I was in much need of some outdoor exercise and just nature and scenery and the thing that brought our family to RV life in the first place, I looked up a hike. I was like, we gotta get outside. We had done quite a bit of hiking when we were in Golden, Colorado. And again, we had been in our RV for a while. We had done the horseback riding, but really this was like a nice day. So I'm like, let's maximize this. And we found Fish Creek Falls Trail. So there's like this waterfall and it was a wonderful hike, perfect length, distance, and you know, ability level for our family for just like a quick afternoon hike. It wasn't too far from town at all, maybe like a 5-10 minute drive. And we had an awesome time doing that hike and going down to the bottom of the waterfall, and the kids loved to climb on the rocks.
Was it when we, after we did the hot spring?
Yeah, do you remember? Wasn't it really pretty?
Was it when we, the girl was asking for the ride?
When the girl was asking for the ride. So we are back to downtown Steamboat Springs. We had to park far away. It's a Saturday. And something really cool just happened. Daphne, what just happened?
Someone hitchhiked us.
Yeah, we were leaving the trail and the waterfall, and this lovely woman named Tara was like, you guys look relatively normal. My bike got a flat tire. Can I hitch a ride into town? Lovely. Shout out to Tara if you ever find this, from Huntington Beach, California. It was a delight traveling with you. Off to lunch. So anyway, we got this woman into town, downtown Steamboat Springs. We ended up going and having a lunch, and we sat outside and the boys played beanbag toss, and it ended up just being a really nice sunny day, which was again just so welcome in kind of a rainy week where we weren't sure how many outdoor activities we were actually going to be able to do. One of the things you get very accustomed to should you decide to invest in an RV or a trailer or this type of lifestyle, whether it's vacation or full-time, is stuff breaking. RVs are notoriously made just not with the nicest materials. They're not like homes. There aren't a bunch of different levels in terms of like the quality of, you know, the stuff that goes inside of RVs. But we've also heard from quite a few people at this point in our travels that all of the RVs that were built during COVID are particularly shoddy, which is our problem. Hopefully not yours, unless you own an RV that was made during COVID. But around this time, we had another malfunction, and Justin had to get out his trusty tools, make a little trip to Ace Hardware, and fix the door. What you doing?
Hopefully fixing the door here.
Why?
Oh yeah, that's what it needed. Boom. So I noticed the other day that these little black screws had literally popped off out of this window here. I mean, literally, and we weren't doing anything. They just popped off, and the metal had separated, and it looks like, you know, something had like pulled it out. It was crazy. And like a lot of things I've noticed in the RV, the screws they use are typically not thick enough or long enough or anything. So I don't know if we recorded it, but I fixed a drawer the other day with better wood screws. So that was another thing I had to fix, was a broken drawer. So I went to the hardware store and got thicker and longer screws, and I'm replacing 3 screws that in the last, what, few days, really popped out. I don't know if the door's warped or what, but I mean, what were we doing? Were we even doing anything?
I mean, you'd driven that day, I guess, but... So what would you say to people considering RV life?
You know, I complain a lot about the little things, the reality is that doesn't really matter if you buy a new one or a used one. Things are gonna, like this, they're gonna happen. The little screws are gonna come undone and drawers will fall apart. It's just not meant, no house is meant to vibrate and shake as much as a motorhome does. So I just get really good at finding solutions and going to hardware stores and, you know, replacing stuff like this and fixing drawers. And I've got 2 electrical outlets I have to replace, so YouTube's your best friend, and hopeful proximity to a hardware store.
So the night before we left, I had one last idea of something that was coming up when we were researching what to do with our time in Steamboat Springs, and that was the rodeo. And the thing that made me feel like this is a cannot miss is that our last night in town happened to be the last night of the rodeo. So it just felt like the universe was saying, you guys really need to go do this. But it started kind of late at night. You didn't go, remember? I know, she didn't go. I didn't take Audrey. Audrey stayed home with Dad and they went to bed on time. And I took Henry and Daphne, and we did have really amazing time. We went early. We went to a barbecue there and had dinner, and it was awesome. It was really fun. I actually ended up sitting by myself almost the entire time, and Daphne and Henry went down by the arena, hanging out with all the other kids. They both got to run out there and do the cool things that they do for kids, like chasing the calves, and they do one chasing like a lamb, and they tie a little thing. It was super cute. And we ended up leaving early, like it wasn't over yet, and it was already past 11 p.m. So we were super tired heading into our travel day, which is never ideal because our travel days feel long, even though Justin does all the driving. I think it makes everybody a little bit tired. What do you think about travel days? You sit on Mom's lap.
We're gonna go out to lunch a lot.
Well, we do get to go out for lunch a lot on travel days. That's true. So all in all, I think that we picked the perfect activities to do in Steamboat Springs. I recommend all of them, from the rodeo to the trail ride with the horses to Old Town, Hot Springs, and the trail that we were able to go do a hike on. What was your favorite thing that I mentioned about Colorado Springs that you would recommend to somebody visiting?
Then the hot springs.
The hot springs, that was your favorite? More than the horseback riding?
The horseback riding.
Don't tell Bob.